Hello, welcome to Instant Insights, a global data strategic intelligence. We track over 100 tech, industry, ESG, and macro themes impacting all major sectors. I'm Martina Raveni, and together with my colleague Carolina Pinto, I had the privilege of attending the 22nd Annual International Hotel Technology Forum in Portugal. We had the chance to speak with many industry experts, explore the latest trends, and gain valuable insights into the future of hotel technology. In this tech episode, we spoke to Dehring, member of the executive board at Giobotics, to Diogo Ferreira, head of commercial at Clink Hostels, and to Markus Mueller, managing director of GauVendi. Hi Dennis, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Thanks so much for being here. Your company is Giobotics. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yes, thanks for having me. So Giobotics is all about combining cutting-edge robotics with human expertise. So our service robots are designed to support the hospitality industry by taking over repetitive tasks to enable staff to focus on what really matters, which is delivering exceptional guest experience to all our customers in the end. So Giobotics itself evolved from 20 years experience in hospitality and gastronomy. Our mother company, Giobotics, is a global player in premium gelato production and franchise licensor of gelato cafes around the world. So we know exactly what our customers and hospitality customers also need, because we are like in their shoes as well. But during COVID, we had to face the harsh truth, as every other hospitality company, of how labor shortage really can make big problems to the companies itself. So for us, we had basically no chance to reopen our cafes in this time. So it was really a rough time, and we had to decide what we do. But failure, to be honest, was not an option for us. So we are always kind of optimistic for everything to look ahead, and that's why we always think there in every big disruption there will always be a big chance for us. So this is where we started with robotics, and where Giobotics basically evolved. So in the beginning, it was just meant to help our employees and our customers in the cafes to reopen it up again and to make some revenue, like our old business model, for example. But after a short amount of time in a testing period, we partnered up with Pudo Robotics, which is the manufacturer of the robots, and this is one of the biggest robot companies worldwide. So since then, we got massive positive feedback from our employees, because they were not running like 26,000 steps a day, only 6,000 steps, and they had time for the customers again. And for us as a business, of course, we streamlined our cost and were able to open up our cafes again. So this was really a great success, and from that point on, we pretty much thought, okay, this is a problem everyone will face in the future, and maybe already does. And so we have kind of a solution, and this is where Giobotics really was born, like now 3 years ago, which is still like a short period, but we came from 0 robots to 900 active operating robots in Germany and other markets. So we help customers in healthcare, retail, hospitality, gastronomy, and other branches as well, with our service, transport, and cleaning robots. So this is basically where we come from, to be honest.
Oh, thanks for sharing it. You touch a lot of themes. Of course, we are very interested in it, and your company covers many industries, but focusing more on hospitality and thinking about the robotics theme. According to you and company, how is robotics transforming the hospitality industry and, as you mentioned before, enhancing the guest or the travel experience?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is transforming the TNT industry by bringing greater efficiency and convenience to all touch points, to be honest. So from intelligent baggage handling to robotic room service, floor cleaning, and laundry transport, you can do basically everything and streamline operations and reduce waiting times for guests. So this is where really all the benefits come in of robotics, because you now enable the employees to have more touch points with the guest again, and not be all streamlined with operation topics. So it's not just about convenience for us. Our robots also improve guest engagement and provide multilingual support and ensure 24/7 service by letting our robots handle these repetitive tasks. So the staff can focus on everything, and then the guest will probably come again because they had a great guest experience. So this is what we, from our projects we have in hospitality, saw after like 6 months or 12 months. You really know it worked into the processes of the customers, and then for the guest, it's just they see the robots, but it's more a tool for the employees and the hoteliers to help them deliver a great guest experience. So it's really reshaping the operational streamline there.
Yeah, as you said, it frees up the
mundane tasks
Yes.
that the staff has to do. Connected to this is not just merely robotics, but also this theme is a big use case for AI systems. Everyone is talking about AI now, so my question for you is quite general as well. Like, how will AI reshape the way we travel, but like the way in this case your company is using robotics and how the guests are experiencing it?
Yeah, I mean, AI and robots from our side will massively increase the quality of traveling in the future. To give you an example, the AI is making our robots smarter and more adaptable for the customers. For example, our cleaning robots will soon be able to analyze how often certain areas need to be cleaned and adapt their routines so that they carry out more thorough clean where it is most needed. If an area cannot be cleaned optimally by the robot passes on the information to the staff, so there is really like the human robot AI connection between each other, so they are really working together, so all under the motto even better together. This is really what AI enables robots to do, because a few years ago robotics were only hardware, like driving hardware, and now through AI and all the software adaptations we do, we can really interact with guests but also with the persons who work with the robot. So this will help to free up not only capacity but the mind of all employees to take care of the customers better. And of course we will go into an environment in hospitality where we just get a better experience because the food comes faster, the whole area is cleaner, my room service is automated, and everything just works smoothly integrated into each other. So that's what AI makes us all possible, not just in TNT.
Yeah, and like from what you say, I'm hearing that overall there is a positive experience from the guest. And when looking at the hospitality industry in general, how can this area embrace new technology like robotics, but also robotics enhanced by AI and other kind of stuff without overloading businesses, travelers, guests, because there's this debate around.
Sure. I mean, everywhere in life and also in this topic, it's all about balance and smart integration. So technology should make life easier, not more complicated. At Giobotics, we focus on solutions that are easy to implement and intuitive to use for all employees. So our robots are designed to fit seamlessly into these existing workflows and support staff rather than replace them. For travelers, the key is to provide a technology that enhances the experience without being intrusive. So when done right, technology becomes a tool that improves service while remaining simple and human-centered actions. But if you do it too much and if you overload everything, of course everyone has a hard time to adapt to it, and this is where as guests but also as employees and as staff you then will face problems. So for us it's more about looking at the process of a customer, looking at the process of a hotelier, and see how can we help you to take away all this walking, carrying, traveling, cleaning, and how can we enable you to focus more on what's important, that's your guest at the end. So we think if you balance it right and if we would do what we do, like consult our customer on how to use it as a tool and not to bring it up front to the guest and say, okay, technology is taking over my job as a human, which is not our goal at all, then I guess there will be a positive effect on it.
Absolutely. Balance is everything.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Dennis.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Hi Diogo, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. My very first question for you is, what are the key emerging market trends shaping the industry, the future of hospitality?
Well, thanks for the question. I think there are a few ones that are very interesting. Of course, one of the hot topics at the moment is AI. And after COVID, I think there were a lot of different trends that were fast forward and were put in a different pace of evolution after. AI is one of them. I think the way that properties and brands worldwide see the user experience, interaction with guests has changed. And now I think one of the main points that brands have to focus is how can we implement more technology, how can we implement more automation without losing that personal touch, right?
Yeah.
I think AI is in the center of the discussion. And for me, there are three things that are key. Is about automation, authenticity, and adaptation. Automation, because there are a lot of things can be automated, not necessarily via AI, but a lot of different tasks can be automated. So then our teams can focus on spending more time with the guests, on the experience itself.
Yeah.
Authenticity is how can we use more technology without losing the personal touch, and to make sure that brands keep authentic, don't forgetting that we are an industry of people to the people. And adaptation is to make sure that we don't have different brands or different departments in the same brand working in silos, and then sometimes we are doing double work because the F&B, housekeeping, and maybe the commercial team, they are using different softwares, that part of it can be combined. And I think if there's a clear technology implementation structure and strategy put in pen, that things can save a lot of time and we can be a lot more harmonious.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as you said, whatever kind of technology needs to maintain the human touch, and because that's really, really important in this sector. I agree. And you mentioned AI, of course, everyone talks about AI. So can you tell us how Clink's hostels adopted the AI and other techs into their operation, like with various use cases or practical examples?
So of course, a lot of technology implementations we did the last few years, a new booking engine, a new website, way more mobile. But I think the main change in terms of a commercial team was we decided to convert, basically dismiss our customer support team, a team of 9 people, and to go 100% AI with a chatbot. We tried different chatbots, we even changed suppliers, we had different approaches of the chatbot, but then after trying a few different suppliers and more from a hybrid model where we had both human and chat at the same time, we evolved that into 100% AI-driven chatbot. Is with D3X, is actually here in the conference as well, Jason. And basically all the different parameters that we were trying before in the hybrid model and before, the questions you wanted to have asked is, will the guests be happy talking with a chatbot? What will be the satisfaction score? So what will be the CSAT? What is going to be the response time? Is this going to drive more direct bookings or not? So there were a lot of different questions, and basically we target and said, okay, what success looks like? And for us was response time, satisfaction, and direct bookings. And these 3 parameters, they improved when we used the hybrid model, but then when we went to 100% AI, all these metrics are above before when you're using a 100% human team. The CSAT score went from 4.2 to 4.6 because at the end of the day, maybe sometimes the tone of the voice, or you can feel that you're talking with a bot and not with a person, but at the end of the day, what people want is a fast answer, right? And even if you have a team, of course, there are maybe some brands that have the luxury of having a 24-hour team, but it's not the case for 99% of the brands out there. So if you have a team 9 to 5 and then also doing the weekend but with limited hours, and we have in our case, like for example, a lot of guests from different time zones, Australia and US mainly. Sometimes you have to wait hours to get an answer. It's not like the end of the world, but people want fast answers. A few years ago, they were okay sending letters, then we went from emails, now it's WhatsApp, now it's voice AI. Everyone wants an answer now. Wait a few seconds, a few minutes, a few hours.
You have 30 seconds to
answer.
Exactly,
and even 30 seconds, you get pissed, right? Even conversational AI, if they have to wait more than 4 seconds, they start to drop off. 4 seconds is the limit of patience. And basically, with AI, we have a 24/7, no sick leave, no holidays, no... Yes, is it a perfect system? No, but also humans aren't perfect.
And when you say AI, you're pretty specific about generative AI in the chatbots.
Yes, because chatbot, we have different types of chatbots. Of course, the ones that using, for example, ChatGPT scraping model. You have the ones that have more kind of hybrid LLMs that still with a lot of manual input. And there are those ones that are pretty much just replying to FAQs and templates. The one we use at the moment with D3X is pretty much 100% coming from ChatGPT. Clearly, of course, it's not a perfect system because using ChatGPT scraping, and if you have different information in the website, it might give different answers to the guests. And of course, because ChatGPT driven, you can go to our ChatGPT and talk whatever about your life. I want to buy a gift for my girlfriend. What should I buy? Our chat will answer those questions because based on ChatGPT, is it relevant for the business? No. Can it create hallucinations? Yes. But at the end of the day, the main topics, we saw an increase in satisfaction score, we saw an increase on direct bookings, we saw an increase on number of conversations. And it's still quite valid because we are quite a small chain, but we have 2,000 conversations per month only done with the chatbot. So it's not even messages, 2,000 conversations with different guests. So it's quite a huge increase. And when we were at the hybrid model with the chat, we were at 600 to 800. So there was a strong increase. And we see people are happy to get their answers, they are fast answered. there were increase on direct bookings despite not having humans selling. So at the end of the day, we are happy, the guests are happy, so it seems that it's working for everyone.
That's really interesting because from the other guests we interviewed, the general debate about human, not human was the balance is everything.
Of course, authenticity.
Yeah.
Is now we have more self-check-ins, online check-ins, when robots giving you the burgers in the restaurant. You have some robots doing the cleaning. At the end of the day, I think hospitality will always have humans working because it's an industry of people to people, and you need that personal touch. But the question is, if you look at, for example, the job of a receptionist, 100% of the time, how many times the receptionist is answering what's the Wi-Fi password? How many times is doing routine like check-in, check-out questions? Are we really using the human potential of that person? Like, hey, human touch, personality, authenticity. Is answering the Wi-Fi password using the potential of that human? No. But maybe we can use AI, automations, machines, robots, whatever, tech, to predict the predictable, to do the routine, and leave the humans to be authentic and spending time with the guests. So, for example, if in my hostels, they can go and check in automatically in like the self-check-in, the Muse kiosks, I want then my receptionist are no longer going to be stuck next to a computer all day, to walk around in the lobby at the same time. Hey guys, if you need help with your check-in, let me know. Do you guys need more beer? Hey guys, I see you looking at the map, you need suggestions for Amsterdam. Kind of more a lobby ambassador. At the end of the day, we feel that it's way more human touch than being behind the desk, a computer, following the 8 or 9 steps for a check-in, asking a credit card and doing whatever you need to do at the check-in, and asking 100 times per day what's the Wi-Fi password, right?
100%.
So it's using humans, it's less boring, and it's using humans at what we can deliver, because of course humans can still deliver things that AI can't and ChatGPT can't, even if many people might disagree, but then make sure that humans are doing what humans should do and not doing the routine that AI can take it easily from us.
Thank you. I have a last question for you. I wanted to ask you if this level of adoption and type of technology adopted the changes in the hostels market you're of course working on and compared to the more luxury hotels.
Yes, of course, for many reasons. First, we are lucky because we have the guests of tomorrow. What I say is because most of our guests are 20 to 35 years old or 20 to 30, so we have the guests today, like the backpackers, that will be the luxury hotel guests in maybe 15 or 20 years when they have money to stay in a luxury hotel. But those trends, they are adapted early, because if you have a youth target, they are way more tech savvy than, for example, maybe a Marriott or a Hilton, where the average age is 55. Maybe they're not used to a chatbot. What the hell is chatbot? What the hell is ChatGPT? So first we have young targets, young guests. Of course, they are more tech savvy. They are more willing to that experience, so they demand also more from us. So that's why, funny enough, might not believe it, but when it comes to technology, sometimes hostels are actually developing those technology earlier than some brands. And also because of the size, because if I have a Marriott or a Hilton, I have thousands of properties all over the world. Before I make a decision, I have to talk with 100 people. Hostels, even if there are some big chains or small, medium-sized chains, it's quite agile, the decision-making, because you are much small resources. Everyone is doing like 3 or 4 things at the same time, so the decision-making process is faster. And the last point is not so much about the target, about the decision-making and the size, is about the segment. Because if I'm paying 30 or 40 euros per bed, I don't mind going to a hostel and make a self-check-in or talk with the chatbot. If I'm staying in a Belmont and I'm paying 2,000, 3,000 euros per night, maybe I want a different type of service.
Yes.
So I think the personal touch and authenticity should be more in the luxury segment than the other segments, because people that are staying in a hostel, yes, it's nicer for solo travelers to mingle with people, is super cool. But let's be honest, if they could have potentially stayed somewhere else, they would have stayed somewhere else if they have the money to do it. Let's be honest about it. Of course, if I'm staying in the Ritz-Carlton, Mandarin Oriental, Four Seasons, the Belmont, I'm expecting a different type of service, a more human. I want to be checked in by a person. I want to be served by a person. You don't see in the Four Seasons a robot bringing back the burger to the table or whatever, not even the burger, but So I think luxury will still remain more personal touch, more based on the human connections, tailor-made suggestions. I think that will always be the case. Then a bit more economic, a bit more budget, a bit more hostels, youth brands will try to use more AI and technology.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi Markus, how are you?
Very good, thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for being here. I just saw you over there on the stand, and my very first question for you is, can you tell us about your company, what GauVendi does?
Sure. So GauVendi is a new breed of system. It's we call it a sales system. As the name suggests already, gaudium comes from Latin and means joy, and venditio means sales. And we want to sell experiences for the hospitality industry. And what we do differently is hospitality industry or hotels manage their room inventory in simplified room categories. And that's a static approach. And in the age of AI, we have said that cannot be the norm anymore. And we've broken away from that and created a concept we refer to as dynamic inventory. So any room unit, the single unit, can be anything you want it to be multiple times. So it could be the corner room, high floor, it could be the little cozy standard, it could be a room with a big bed and a shower. So you can basically sell it in different ways and price it in different ways. And that's what we do. So we are basically going on property management systems on our dynamic inventory management platform. And then on that platform, we have built novel products like a new booking technology, which is a sales engine, so you can sell like Amazon. People arrived on a Tuesday with 2 people, wanted to have a quiet room, high floor.
Okay.
And things like that, $10 more. Or do you want a standard room? Then you save money, but you don't know where you end up with. And that's one use case for dynamic inventory. Yeah,
I see. And like it's like if the room is more unpacked, then you can apply more filter, basically.
Yes, it's not necessarily filters. I mean, if you think about it, every industry or usually manages their inventory in unit base, and even the airlines sell seats.
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't sell seats in hotels. We sell categories, and that's the problem. We take each individual unit, and that could be anything you want to. Yeah. And this is where the power is. So it's not a category. Yeah. It's room 101, which could be a standard room, which could be a room with a big bed. It could be Lisa's favorite room, and so on. And this is what our system does. And Lisa would pay more for a room with her name on it. Yeah. And that's why it's priced differently than the standard room, even so it's a physically same space.
Okay, so definitely the digitalization theme is very important in this industry, and of course your company is embracing. But in terms of type of technology you are deploying, of course there is the AI you mentioned before. Which other, or are you use AI? Like, just respond on this.
I mean, I think it's mainly AI, but what has to be differentiated here is obviously there's a big move now where AI becomes popular as the generative AI and the different use cases on that. So we have used AI in multiple ways. I mean, we use machine learning, obviously, which is something which has been used for a long time already. But now with the new generative AI and AI agents, that is a whole new ball game with our solution as well. So we basically provide a new data structure, a new language for experiences, for room experiences, and now an AI agent or generative AI open source solutions can be really powerful with that.
Okay, so basically before AI, we got generative AI, and can you say that your company is already at the stage of AI agent now?
I would say so. Yeah, we're using generative AI, for example, we use machine learning for recommendation models and so on. We use generative AI for naming products in the right side. What should I call it? Family combination or little family retreat? For which kind of market? What's the better naming?
Yes.
Now this is kind of where Gen AI comes into play. And even in recommendation models, if we have more, let's say if we have historic data of the guest or anything other, then this generative AI models are helpful even for our recommendation models.
Yeah.
And then you have AI agents which then do the tasks independently. But that is something which is where basically we are at. We're like, some of our customers are starting to create their own AI agents, and then they go on our APIs to basically use our system to create some tasks like customer communication before they check in or whatever.
Interviewing other guests, one of the main talking points was about the human touch. I think in your case there is not much of human touch, but regarding of human,
can be let alone your model, or you need people?
No, I would say, our tool is ultimately a marketing tool, which also includes the customer experience. And I would agree, subject to what kind of operation you're running, there needs to be human touch points. There needs to be human interaction in order to get that empathy and that brand promise across.
Okay.
And our tool actually supports that, because I give you this example where this human touch works very well together with our tool.
Yeah.
Now, one property of ours, they had 2 small single units, which nobody wanted to buy. But we created a product called Snorer Room for snorer couples, right? So, and they have that on the website. Now imagine they would book this automatically, we would allocate the room, and that this couple would now come and check into the hotel, and they booked the Snorer Room. Now, the human touch, the interaction with the guest, it can be so incredible when they book that. Now, who is the lucky one? Who has to sleep next door? Here's another tea which we provided for you because you booked the Snorer Room. Here's a little kind of package which we don't talk to me about another hotel when I'm checking in like this. I will never forget that check-in.
Yeah.
And this is enabled, let's say, through technology, but it's a human interaction which makes it unforgettable. And I think this is where it has to play together. So our tool enables human touch, creating moments, and this is what it is about.
That's the best use case I've heard so far. My last question for you is quite general. How can the hospitality industry embrace this new technology, which can be yours, but in general can be whatever, AI, robotics, we've seen a lot here, without overloading businesses and travelers and guests? Like when is not enough?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know the answer to that really. I have an opinion about it. It's because I think we have to go. There's so much technology out there, right? And too much basically. And there's a lot of we have to have this. We need to have a CRM. We need to have that. Maybe you don't, right? Mm-hmm. What you really need to know is what kind of operation are you? What kind of experience you want to provide? What is your brand standing for? And what are the elements you can automate and should automate? And what can you improve for? And I think this has to be clear. And I think this is what people forget. They need to go through that, and that's not an easy process. They need to go through that. And then they say, okay, what technology do I need in order to enable that journey I'm just painting out?
Yeah.
And I think this is a process. It's not about the new technology and running behind the technology, because maybe they don't need stuff. We see it in our tool. People do not know that dynamic inventory exists, right? If they know that it exists, and all of a sudden they say, oh, do I really need this system now?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't. Do you really need this system? No, you don't either. So you make a lot of stuff obsolete, because now you can fulfill your brand promise in a very different way, and you can automate where it matters, and you create human touch points where it matters for your brand. And this is, I think, the power. And too often we are thinking I need a property management system, I need a revenue management system, I need a booking engine, I need a RMS. Maybe you don't need all that stuff. You need to think about your guest journey and how you want to price and market to the consumer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, all the guests, for these instant insights. Thanks for listening, and from us in Strategic Intelligence, see you next time.